Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ari and I like to talk about Lolita related things, and I thought that this was the time to start thinking about New Year's resolutions and goals. Typically, Lolitas make wardrobe posts at the beginning of every year to kind of keep track of what pieces they bought and sold throughout the year. For me, I like to do a list of goals, and I don't know if anyone else does this or not, but I always think it's a fun idea. Every year, I usually set one or two pretty easy to achieve goals for myself, whether it be add some more rings to my collection or look for a specific dream dress. But this year I want to challenge myself, and I have a few goals that I want to achieve, and they're all Lolita related. So in today's video I'll be sharing with you all the goals that I have, and I'll explain them a little bit more in detail. Okay, let's get started. The first goal is something that I actually realized I kind of needed just recently, but I would like to get more necklaces this year. Most of my necklaces are suitable just for sweet Lolita, and they're usually pretty bright or pastel colored, but I really don't have that many. I want to say I have around 10 or 12 total, and I have just a couple necklaces that I could wear with classic or gothic Lolita. So I want to get a few more necklaces that I can wear with some sweet coordinates, and I'd also like to get a few necklaces that I could also wear with my gothic or my classic coordinates. I would like to get specifically some rosaries. I know that Moite put out a really nice golden rosary that I want to get, and I also want to get maybe some necklaces from indie designers. The next goal is one that I set for myself every year, and I have been getting better about it each year, but I still need more blouses. So as I mentioned, this is a goal that I set for myself pretty much every year, but when I do buy blouses, most of the time they don't fit, usually in the shoulder area, or if I buy long sleeves, sometimes they're just a little bit too short. I've been getting a little bit better about buying blouses that do fit perfectly, but this happens with some recent blouses that I've purchased too. Sometimes I think that the measurements look perfect and it'll fit me nicely, but it's a little bit uncomfortable or a bit too snug on me. For this year, I want to say that I bought about 10 blouses, most of which were secondhand, and I think the majority of them fit. There was one, it got a lot of wrinkles on it, especially in the sleeve area, so I ended up selling that. And there was an old school blouse that I purchased, and it was just a little bit too short on me, so I did sell that one as well. And the rest of them fit just fine. I still need a few more though, especially ones that are suitable for gothic Lolita and classic Lolita. So hopefully I can find a few more blouses this year. Another thing I'm going to try to do this year is get some more winter gear. So this includes coats, capes, a scarf, and winter boots. So right now I do have one cape and one long coat, and they are fairly warm, but since I just have one of each, I can't really change out my looks very often. So I would like to get some winter items that are a different color, possibly white or ivory or black. And I would also like to get some nice boots, possibly ones with fake fur around the outsides. I did buy some boots recently, however, I can't wear them. They are damaged beyond all repair and I can't fix them. So I might explain more about that in another video, but to keep it short, the boots that I bought were mentioned as having a little bit of damage, and no. They are very damaged. And I'd like to get these items a little bit sooner than later because it's already starting to get pretty cold. Another thing I have written down on my list is to get more Moite pieces. Right now, I only have one OP from Moite, and it's blue and white. And after seeing more and more pieces of theirs in person this year, I really would like to get some more Moite in my closet. I really like their designs, and they are just the embodiment of EGL, and I just really would like to get more pieces from them. I think it is a little bit hard to find Moite secondhand. It seems like the people who do buy from that brand tend to keep the items, and they don't really resell too often. And I feel like it is a fairly small brand. They're not making as many items as, let's say, Baby the Stars Shine Bright or Angelic Pretties. Even at Closet Child, I want to say I've only seen like maybe 12 max main pieces that were Moite for sale, and this is throughout all the Closet Childs that I've been to in the area. I think what I'm going to try to do is, if there's a design or a dress that I like, I'm just going to have to try to buy it on release day and not try to check the secondhand markets like I tend to do for other brands. And hopefully by the end of the year, I will have more Moite pieces and I will wear a little bit more gothic Lolita. Another thing I'd like to try for this year is to make a wardrobe post. Typically, Lolita's used to post them on LiveJournal, but over the years, people have kind of migrated to other sites. One thing I've seen is that people make their wardrobe posts on Instagram. What they do is they kind of organize their dresses maybe by color or brand, and then they'll make one post with 10 pictures that you can scroll through. Or I also see people posting their wardrobes to YouTube. I did make a video about how I organize my Lolita wardrobe, but I haven't actually shown every single individual piece quite yet, so I think it's something that would take a lot of time. I want to say I have around 35 or 40 main pieces, plus blouses and outerwear. So it would be a little bit time consuming, but if I made a video about my wardrobe every year, it would be really cool to see which dresses I've acquired and which ones I've sold throughout the year. It's something I'm considering doing at the start of the year, so let's see how it goes. And speaking of videos, another thing that I'd like to do starting this year is to upload more videos to YouTube. I think that in 2020, I got pretty bogged down with work, but I think starting in 2021, I will have a little bit more free time, and I have a few ideas for videos that I'd like to make in the future, including resources for tall Lolitas and my experience with buying things secondhand. And when it's safer to go out again, I think it'd be fun to show what it's like being a Lolita in Japan and going to meetups and cafes here. And it's a bit of a lofty goal, but if it's possible, I'd like to have some of my friends on this channel. Maybe I could ask them for some of their advice and styles they like and they wear, possibly do a style swap. So if that's something you'd be interested in seeing, let me know down below in the comments. I also need to sit down and take a few pictures of some dresses I'm not really wearing and sell them. While I thought I would wear them a bit more, I ended up not, so I think it's just time to part with a few of them. I ended up finding a lot of dresses that I really wanted this year, so my closet is getting a little bit full, and for that reason, I do need to sell off a few dresses. I don't have a ton of closet space. I feel like space in general is pretty limited in Japan, but I do have an entire full-size closet, which is nice, but I also need to be a little bit mindful of items that are kind of taking up space and not being used. Admittedly, I've been a little bit lazy when it comes to secondhand sales, since pretty much no matter where I sell to, it's going to have international shipping, and it does get a little bit expensive. It's usually around like $20 or $30 depending on which country it goes to. And there are also some countries that I just cannot mail to at all, or there are very long delays, so I've been kind of putting off listing some secondhand items. But I'm hoping by next year, when international shipping gets back to normal, that I can list a few more items and make a little bit more space in my closet, and these dresses can go on to a new home. Another goal that I've set for myself is to host online meets. It's not safe enough to meet in person or to have big meetups quite yet where I live, so I think that we're going to have to continue to host them online for now. Hosting online meets has been more accessible than ever because you can have a maximum of 100 people in the same group on some online programs. I've joined a couple of tea parties and online meetups this year, and they are a lot of fun. If you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend it. So I think it'd be really fun to maybe pick a nice game to play or pick a really interesting theme and host my own for this year. My biggest goal for this year is to find some older angelic pretty pieces that are on my wish list. So these pieces are some of the ones that I first saw when I was getting into the fashion, and for me they're just really cute, whimsical prints that I've always loved and just haven't found, or when I did find them, maybe I didn't have the funds at the moment. So I'm going to look extra hard for some of these, and I really hope that they pop up secondhand, or hopefully they can get re-released from Angelic Pretty this year. A few of these dresses include Miracle Candy, Pastel a la Mode, Puppet Circus in the jumper skirt cut, Strawberry Parlor, Milky Planet, and Decoration Dream. I did manage to find a lot of my dream dresses this year, which was amazing, so I'm hoping that I can find some of these older dream dresses in 2021. I have a really big list of goals for this year, and I'm really hoping that I can accomplish the majority of them. I think this will add a lot more diversity to my wardrobe, and it'll be fun to wear other styles and make my wardrobe a little bit more cohesive. So I'll check in next year and see just how many of them I was able to accomplish. If you think setting some goals for Lolita is a fun idea, you're welcome to make your own and share it to your social media accounts. I hope that you have a wonderful new year, and I will see you in the next video.